Live from downtown Brooklyn, it's a rematch of last year's NEC Tournament quarterfinals, and we've got it live here on NEC Front Row. It'll be the reigning NEC champion Sacred Heart Pioneers against the LIU Sharks. Good afternoon, welcome to the Steinberg Wellness Center, ladies and gentlemen. For our entire crew, I'm Pat Boyle. So delighted to have you with us here on what is turning into a pretty nice Saturday here in New York City, as blizzards and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and snow and cold temperatures blast different parts of the Northeast. We've got a pretty nice afternoon here in Brooklyn, and we've got a pretty nice game set up for you here. The Sacred Heart Pioneers picking up from where they left off last year. Head coach Jessica Minetti and one of the best players in the country, Ny'Sera Pryor. They've got an 8-8 overall record, but they've won 3 in a row, and they have begun NEC play with 2 resounding double-digit victories. They beat Merrimack in the home conference opener last Saturday, and then they demolished St. Francis University on Monday night, 86-47. A team that won 19 games last year, won the NEC's first ever NCAA tournament game when they beat Southern in the first 4. They are all 5 of their starters back this season, and they are looking to continue their recent dominant stretch. We've got the starting lineups for you in just a second. Meanwhile, for the LIU Sharks, head coach Renee Haynes continues to be out while she expects the birth of her child. So Chris Dunn's squad, they picked up a huge win last Saturday here in Brooklyn, beating Stonehill 54-52, but then lost on Monday night at Wagner. We've got the starting lineups for you here in just a second, but we are ready for tip-off. LIU in the white and the Pioneers in the red. And we are underway. So there is Ny'Sera Pryor, the sophomore from Baltimore, Maryland. They're looking for a quick 3. That's off the mark. Offensive rebound. Put back, no good. Third chance, no good. And the Sharks corral it. Amaya O'Brien getting the start. She has been coming off the bench a lot for the LIU Sharks this year, but the true point guard in the starting 5, alongside Samantha Bailey, who's got the ball now. Amaya Dowdy down low. Mariah Elahim, their three-point shooter. And then the heart and soul of this team, number 12, Ashley Austin. Here's Dowdy. She traveled. Starting lineup for the Sacred Heart Pioneers and head coach Jessica Minetti. The aforementioned Ny'Sera Pryor starts alongside Sajeda Bonner. And the rest of the Pioneers starting lineup: Nalise Dudley. There's a scoop layup there, and just as I was about to say her name, Amelia Wood, the sophomore, has the first points of the contest. And Sierra Johnson, another sophomore, gets the start for Sacred Heart. And there's a 10-second backcourt violation against LIU, so Sacred Heart coming out uber aggressive here in the opening minute with a full court press, and they get a turnover. 50th meeting all-time between these two. Sacred Heart holds a 29-20 all-time advantage, but they swept all 3 games last year and won all 3 by double digits, including that NEC tournament quarterfinal game in Fairfield. Here's Pryor. Crossover. Stops, looking for the drop-off, and a Sacred Heart turnover. But Ny'Sera Pryor is the player to watch, as she will be for just about every game she plays in. 17.8 points per game last year to go with just under 7 rebounds. Led the country in steals, the entire country in steals, as O'Brien hits a little mid-range floater. And this year, her numbers are almost identical. Just under 17.5 points per game, 6.5 rebounds per game. The assists, she's on track to match her assist total from last year. And, oh, yeah, she's got 3 steals per game. One of the best players in the country. That shot might have been blocked by Dowdy. Turns away Dudley. And a full fast break on the other end. And Mariah Elahim lays it in. And just like that, the Sharks grab the lead. Here's Johnson. Now into the corner, catch and shoot 3. High arcing 3 is off the back rim, and Austin's got the rebound. Ashley Austin leading returning scorer for the Sharks, and she is besting some of her numbers from last year, 14.5 points per game. And she's coming off a 5-steal performance in that loss Monday at Wagner. She does it all for LIU. O'Brien spins from the elbow, can't get it off the glass, and Pryor launches in for the rebound. And yeah, those rebounding numbers, not a typo, as Pryor gets to the hoop and will go to the free throw line. Only 5'3", but just absurd athleticism. She really just jumps right out of the building, and she is always looking for the ball, whether it's to score, whether it's to rebound, whether it's to feed one of her teammates, or, of course, whether it's to take it away. You see right there the aggressiveness getting to the bucket that has made her one of the best players in the Northeast, and she was one of the best freshmen in the country last year. First player in the NEC's history to earn Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and Rookie of the Year in the same season. And of course, she was first team All-NEC and NEC All-Rookie team. Also was named to the 2023 World Exposure Report Mid-Major Freshman of the Year and the MET Rookie of the Year. So the awards came pouring in last year for Nisera Pryor. She built a sustained level of excellence. She has not dropped off from that this season. LIU offense goes back to work. Sacred Heart in a man-to-man. Austin gets some space, launches a three, off the mark, and the rebound by Bonner. Johnson gets inside, denied by Dowdy, but cleaning it up that time is Dudley. Alice Dudley, 5th on the team in points per game, just over 7. But she does a lot of the gritty work down low for Jessica Minetti. Elohim might have been a 3. It's off the mark either way. And really good rebounding battle between Dudley and Dowdy. And it's Nelly's Dudley who comes away with it. Olivia Tucker checked into the game recently for the first time for Sacred Heart. Bonner's 3 off the mark, and Dowdy that time wins the rebounding battle. That'll be a good one to keep an eye on all afternoon. Austin, the hezzy. Free throws coming for the senior from Compton, California. A couple more early changes here for Sacred Heart. Get another look there. Look at that move from Ashley Austin. She is so quick. And she uses just about every weapon in her arsenal to throw defenders off, to get their timing off, to get their rhythm off. The one issue has been what you just saw, the free throws this year. Ashley just 60% from the free throw line. She gets there 3.5 times per game. So she gets 1 of 2. Sharks back within 1. Early doors here in Brooklyn. The reigning conference champion Pioneers lead it 8-5 now. Pryor with a mid-range jumper. We thank you for being with us here on NEC Front Row. That full court press, now more of a full court trap. LIU able to break it easily. Austin will try it and connects. Ashley Austin with a triple. Double-digit scoring in 4 of her last 5. She had 15 in the loss on Monday. The response from Wood is no good. Last touch by Sacred Heart. The first quarter has been huge for both of these teams, positively for Sacred Heart. They had a 20-point lead at the half against St. Francis on Monday. For LIU, it's been those slow starts in the first quarter that they want to be able to move past. And they're off to a good start here. That one went everywhere but down for Elohim, and then Dowdy can't hit on the second chance. Look at this, the home run pass ahead and the lay-in from Wood. What a find that time, and the Pioneers go back in front. Sharks coming out, though, with really good energy. They look determined to give Sacred Heart a battle. Austin, no good on the three. Bailey's right there. Elohim can't hit it. Three-point shooting struggles have been a theme so far for Mariah Elohim, and maybe starting to turn it around. She hit 3 of them in the loss on Monday at Wagner. We've reached our first media timeout here, and it's a good one. The defending conference champions, Sacred Heart, with a 10-8 lead here in the early going over LIU. We're here in downtown Brooklyn, and you're watching live on NEC Front Row. Back here, you got to look at Amaya Dowdy, who's going to play very meaningful minutes today. Nigeria Harkless is out today for the Sharks, and Harkless, one of the best rebounders on this team. 4.5 rebounds per game, so Dowdy's going to see a lot more burn today than normal, and she sees a lot to begin with. As it looks like we got a tie-up, or do the officials have a foul? They've got a foul. They get it against the freshman Janessa Williams, who recently came in. Got off to a great start in the beginning of this season, did Janessa. Had 18 combined points in LIU's first 2 games against St. John's in Minnesota, and then didn't play as much right before conference play started, but she's starting to get some more playing time, and she's a really solid defender for this team. They're going to need her today. Scoop layup from Pryor almost went down. They get an offensive rebound. Look at the ball movement around the perimeter. Part of what makes Sacred Heart so dangerous. Number 1 scoring offense, number 1 scoring defense. That time, Dowdy saying, not up in here, with a rejection of Sajeda Bonner, and it's LIU ball. Alexia Brooks checks in for the first time, in for Mariah Elohim. As Chris Dunn manning the sidelines, the assistant coach who is taking over the head coaching duties, while Renee Haynes, again, is expecting the birth of her child. And just trying to find somebody that can knock down some threes off the bench would be huge for the Sharks. Alexia Brooks, one of those leading candidates. That ball tipped. Shot clock down to 7. Austin walks into a 3. Too strong. Tipped around. And it ends up with Sacred Heart. And then Dowdy jumps on top, and they'll say jump ball. LIU much more aggressive and persistent in their search for rebounds than we've seen normally this year, which is a huge aspect of this game today. They cannot afford to get beaten up on the rebounding. Austin with Pryor all over her. This is the matchup everybody wants to see today. Instead, they get a pick and roll. Williams underneath the bucket, couldn't find it. It'll stay with LIU. Sacred Heart number 2 in rebounding margin. LIU not far behind at number 4, so it's going to be a physical battle down low today. Both teams have good size, good athleticism. O'Brien, step back, triple. Missed everything. We mentioned LIU's search to find a player that can knock down some threes for them. The Sharks only make 4.8 triples per game. That's right near the bottom of the conference. The Maya O'Brien stepping up her scoring efforts lately. She is certainly a player to watch. Wood Banging down low, a lot of contact. No foul. They get the offensive rebound. Didn't hit the rim, so the shot clock down to 8. Pryor gets doubled. And a foul. And they're going to get Dowdy. LIU, that looked like a perfectly timed double team, but Amaya Dowdy got Nicira Pryor's arm that time. Elohim will come in here for Imaya O'Brien. Get another look at it. That's going to be important. Blitzing Nicira Pryor into those double teams and forcing her into some pressure-packed situations. Entry pass in here, and Dowdy again with another block. That time turned away Dudley. Amaya Dowdy has been a force down low so far for LIU. Contested mid-range off the glass and no good. That time from Johnson. Sharks' defensive intensity very admirable early on. Dowdy now trying to work it on the offensive end and gets it off the glass. Amaya Dowdy standing on business here in the first quarter. She's got 2 points, and they've got her down for 5 first-quarter blocks. Long three from Wood is too strong, and it's another offensive rebound. Dudley and Dowdy working hard on the boards, and then Dudley lost her shoe and gets called for 3 in the key. For any folks watching, we might need a check into the record books here. Official stats have Amaya Dowdy down for 5 blocks here in the opening quarter. That is not a typo. She has been a human eraser here. And now she's working again in the paint. Brooks over to Elohim, corner 3. Sharks haven't been able to get it going from deep. 1 of 7 here in the opening quarter. But the looks are there. And that was a wild shot that time. And then a battle for the ball. Janessa Williams comes away with it and then throws it away. And the internal clock on Janessa Williams just sped up a little bit too much there for her. Chris Dunn coaching her up right there. Dia Denes, the sophomore from Budapest, Hungary, checks in after Amaya Dowdy put in one heck of a shift here in the first quarter. 2 points, 2 rebounds, 1 steal, and 5, count them, 5 blocks. And it's part of that defense that has kept Sacred Heart off the scoreboard now for over 4 minutes. It's a scoring drought of 4:05 and counting. Tucker. And a step-back 3 is good. Nothing but net from Sierra Johnson. She said, you're going to give me that space, you're going to pay for it. Johnson's first field goal after an 0-for-3 start, and Sacred Heart breaks a long scoring drought. They're back in front. Sharks can hold for the final possession of the quarter. Instead, Brooks lays it in off the glass. Strong finish for Alexia Brooks, the junior, first-year Shark, transfer from UMass. Pryor, too strong, and a very exciting first quarter comes to a close. LIU trying to give the defending conference champs everything they can handle. Amaya Dowdy with 5 rejections in the opening 10 minutes, and Sacred Heart clinging to a 13-12 first quarter lead. Here's a look at one of them as she turned away Nellie's Dudley. Amaya Dowdy with some ferocious defense. Second quarter's next on NEC Front Row.
Before the house, before the office, the late nights and new bosses. Before the last hugs, the wins and the losses. Before building the team, before building yourself. The rise and grinds, all day, every days. Before the letter, before the dream, there was a kid who loved to play. If you have the talent and dedication to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Uh-oh. FaceTime. FaceTime. Hello. Oh.
Hi, Coach Cooper.
Is that Reese's mom? Oh. You're calling to do what?
I did a little
He's doing great. We're gonna pay for the rest of his school. You have no more bills.
So second quarter underway here in the Steinberg Wellness Center in downtown Brooklyn. Pat Boyle with the rest of our crew. Happy to have you with us. Kevin Catalinato running the ship today, doing a great job. And right out of the opening salvo of the second quarter, it's Olivia Tucker, the beneficiary of a nice find, and she hits a little 7-footer. Sacred Heart shot just 24% in that first quarter, one of their season lows. And that was a lot because of Amaya Dowdy, who had 5 blocks in that opening quarter. Elohim off on the 3. Tucker, a nice rebound. LIU, though, shot just 31%, 1 of 7 from deep. LIU got some open looks. They're going to have to hit those threes if they want a chance to pull the upset today. Dennis went down on a collision, and that left a wide-open corner 3. For Bonner, she missed everything. O'Brien pulls it out, now gets it back from Bailey. Amaya O'Brien running the half-court offense here with Ashley Austin taking a breather. Brooks. Sharks working it around the perimeter, but not a whole lot of entry. Now O'Brien with the penetration, then lost it, and there's Pryor, the country leader in steals last year, all the way to the cup for an easy deuce. How many times did Pioneers fans see that last year? Nysera Pryor with the turnover, takes it all the way to the cup, and LIU needs a timeout. Pryor with the active hands, and then once she gets out and running, you're not going to catch her. Sacred Heart by 3 here on Front Row.
To them, the whole world looks like an opportunity, one to be seized, built upon, and made better for their sport and the people around it. To student athletes, every opportunity is a chance to change what could be and show the world what opportunity can do.
So it was a very good first quarter for the LIU Sharks, looking for just their 3rd win of the season and looking to pull what would be a massive upset here over the reigning conference champion Pioneers. But Sacred Heart with a little 4-0 burst to start the second quarter, so Chris Dunn hoping that the Sharks can reset here and Ashley Austin comes back into the game. Austin looking for the pick and roll from Sam Bailey. Gets it inside to Amaya Dowdy, who had that monster first quarter. Bailey open 3. And that one clanks off the side rim. Sharks 1 for 9 from deep. They're going to have to make some threes today if they want a chance for the win. Pryor, they double team her, gets it out to Tucker. LIU, they've been in man-to-man defense. Johnson out to Pryor. Shot clock down to 5. Pryor, the hezzy, the step back. Dudley off on the elbow jumper and the offensive rebound, and then Austin comes away with it and gets tripped. But that's already 8 offensive rebounds for Sacred Heart, and they've only been able to manage 2 second chance points. Johnson comes off. And it is Amelia Wood back into the game. Handoff to Brooks. Inside to Dowdy, who slipped past the defender, and Amaya Dowdy with her second bucket. Just great movement that time, knowing when to roll, knowing when to cut to the bucket. LIU, they've had a lot of success with those little drop-off passes. And there's Tucker, though, with a triple. Just their second of the game, but Sacred Heart now with a 6-point advantage. Their largest so far of the afternoon. Elohim trying to heat it up. That's good. Mariah Elohim, her first 3 of the game. She had 3 in the loss on Monday. And if she can heat up for LIU, that would be a massive help. But then Wood counters it with a 3 of her own. And now the triples are starting to rain down here in Brooklyn. Bailey with a travel. Good defense from Amelia Wood forces that turnover, the 5th of the game. Janessa Williams, the freshman, comes back in for Sam Bailey, so LIU going to go a little bit smaller here with only one traditional forward on the floor, and Dowdy trying to counter the quick, aggressive, athletic guard play from Sacred Heart. Here's Wood with that last 3. Inside at Dudley. And a foul. Looks like it's going to go against Janessa Williams that time. Nicira Pryor will take a break. Looks like Kelsey Woods coming in. No, excuse me, that's Sierra Johnson checking back in. So some quick, frequent rotations here for Jessica Minetti's team. And an offensive foul will negate that 3-point shot. Six minutes left to go in the opening half. It has been wildly entertaining. LIU doing battle with the reigning conference champions. Dowdy missed it on the front rim, and a good rebound from Bonner. Sacred Heart making sure they are cleaning up the glass. Only 3 offensive rebounds for LIU. Johnson gets fouled after the pump fake. And 2 free throws coming after the foul against Elohim. And now Imai O'Brien back in for Alexia Brooks. So we've only had 4 combined free throws. That one's good for Sierra Johnson, the sophomore from Richmond, Virginia. Sierra Johnson last year played all 33 games, started 22 of them, averaged 5.5 points per game. She goes 1 of 2 at the free throw line there. This year she started every game. The scoring's up, the rebounding is up. Just another one of these key players from last year's conference championship squad that is back this year for Jessica Minetti. All 5 starters, the majority starters who started the majority of the games, I should say, are back this year. Elohim can't hit the corner 3, but O'Brien never gave up on the rebound. Contact, no foul, and then a foul on a 3rd offensive rebound. And it's going to be on the floor. But if the Sharks are going to struggle shooting today, and just 2 of 10 from deep, they're going to need these second chance opportunities. Dowdy never gave up on that one as the ball was pinballing around. Elohim. Austin, step back. Long 2 is too strong. Tucker the rebound. But anytime LIU can get Ashley Austin in a one-on-one, they're going to like their chances. Same can be said for Sacred Heart. Nicira Pryor, as efficient as always, 8 points on 3 of 5 shooting to go with 2 assists. And this Sacred Heart lead continues to expand. It's up to 9. Austin to the cup. Rebound and the putback from Williams. Good positioning from the freshman. And diligence and hard work pays off. Janessa Williams getting some increased burn here and making the most of it. But going back to the point, you return all 5 starters from a conference championship team. Yeah, no reason, no wonder why Sacred Heart was picked unanimous to finish as the champions again. Spin move and a miss, and now here's a 2-on-1 for LIU. Austin, the fake, offensive foul. Ashley Austin can't believe the call. Here's another look at it. She is always looking to run, and that time the fake tried to split the defenders. I'm not sure about that one, but it's Nycera Pryor again getting it done on the defensive side. Four minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Sacred Heart, 3 of their last 4 from the field. They're getting some really good high percentage looks. Wood. Crossover. And a foul. And they get Janessa Williams. 4th team foul for LIU, so any more, and Sacred Heart will be in the bonus. Sam Bailey comes back in for Williams. That's her 3rd foul, so she will most likely have a seat for the rest of the first half here. Inbound goes to Kelsey Wood. Here's Pryor. Out to Wood. Amelia Wood for 3. No good on the shooter's bounce. Austin all the way to the cup. 2 free throws for Ashley Austin. Double A working like a double A Energizer battery. Look at it. Head is always up. Look at the poise. Look at the vision. Knows that there is an avenue for her to get to the bucket. And 2 free ones coming for number 12. Did all she could in the NEC tournament quarterfinal game in the loss for LIU, I should say, against Sacred Heart last year. 10 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. And she's able to convert both there. Back to a 5-point game and now a full court press from LIU. As they look to disrupt Sacred Heart's momentum, they break it easily, and Tucker too strong on the triple, and a foul against Pryor. And just like that, Sacred Heart over the limit, so Imaya O'Brien will be shooting free throws here. LIU, they were down 9 just a minute and 13 seconds ago, but they have responded really nicely. Some good defensive possessions. They had a chance to make it 4 straight from the free throw line. O'Brien misses the first. Gets the second. So those were the first chances from the free throw line for LIU there in the last 30 seconds. They're 3 of 4 as a team. It's back to a 4-point game. Kelsey Wood, the drop-off. Pryor hard to the bucket, and she'll be going to the line. And Imaya O'Brien pleading her case by holding 2 hands up in the air. And she better be careful before she gets a technical. She was not happy with that call from the official. Still pleading her case. Here's another look. Went straight up, but when you're Nycera Pryor and you average 17 points per game and you're one of the best players in the entire country, sometimes the calls are going to go your way if you get to the bucket aggressively enough, and that's what she's become known for. Cashes in on both. Double digits already for Nycera Pryor. 10 points, 2 assists here in the first half. Kelsey Wood will take a break. Natalie's Dudley back in the game. Both teams still struggling from the field. As Austin, the scoop layup goes home. Ashley Austin with 8 points. LIU now out shooting Sacred Heart 32% from the field to 31%. Here's Amelia Wood. Gets into the bucket and is fouled from behind by Sam Bailey. That looked awfully clean from here. Try to get her from the chase down block, but that's just good penetration. Amelia Wood got right past her. Tough to tell on that look, but it's free throws for the sophomore Amelia Wood from Winneskill, New York. Her sister Kelsey, 2 years her senior. And the Wood sisters becoming an integral piece of this Pioneers team in their quest to try to repeat as conference champions. Free throw shooting very good for Sacred Heart in the first half. 7 of 8 as a team. Austin step back triple. Pryor the rebound. Into the corner. Bounce pass to Pryor. Spin move. Got blocked. Was it Dowdy again or was it Brooks? It was Amaya Dowdy again with the rejection. At least that's the first look from the official stats, and that is 7 blocks in the first half. Make it 8 now for Amaya Dowdy. 8 blocks. 3 from Tucker, short. Austin flies in for the rebound. Got a bump. Looked right at the ref. Wanted a whistle. Didn't get it. Elohim from the parking lot. That would have been a massive 3. It would have made it a 1-possession game. Instead, Pryor with her 3rd rebound. Tempo picking up. Pryor, elbow jumper. Got her own rebound and gets fouled. And right there is the beast that is Nycera Pryor. Never gives up on a play for a single split second. We mentioned it before about Ashley Austin. Look, the head is always up for Pryor. Got a little bit of space and then just flies in for the rebound and goes right back to the cup. You want to average more than 17 points per game in this conference, you've got to be hunting for buckets at all times, and Nycera Pryor does exactly that. Cashes in on both free throws, a dozen first-half points for the reigning NEC Player of the Year. And the lead has ballooned back to 8 for the Pioneers. 90 seconds here in the first half. Austin looking for the screen from Sydney Smith, who recently checked in for the first time. And then Austin traveled. Got stuck. Sydney Smith, by the way, who played on Monday for the first time since New Year's Eve and has battled some injuries this year. This is just the 10th game that she has appeared in. She's missed a couple. 3 from the left wing, no good. Another offensive rebound and a putback for Nellie's Dudley. And the freshman eaten down low. 8 rebounds for Dudley and now 4 points. And it's the largest lead of the contest for Sacred Heart. Double-digit advantage. Looking for a little give and go. Finally, Smith decides to attack. Throws that one up for grabs. Elohim, a 3. Still can't hit. LIU, 2 of 14 from deep as a team. And they are scoreless for the last 2 minutes and change. Kayla Tylis checks in for Alexia Brooks. Amaya Dowdy comes in for Sydney Smith. And LIU's got to figure out who's going to stay on the floor. They only have 4 players on the floor right now. So Maya O'Brien will come in for Ashley Austin. And now Sam Bailey will come in. So there was some miscommunication there on the substitutions, but the Sharks get it figured out. 5-second difference between game and shot clock here. Sacred Heart with their largest advantage of the afternoon and looking for more, and Pryor is content to let this one go all the way down to the final seconds before getting going. Amelia Wood, triple. Off the mark, got knocked over. Chance for the Sharks to get one more. Tyler's lost it. Here's Pryor with 4 seconds. Dudley barely caught the rim. And Tucker beat the buzzer but can't get it to go. That putback will not count. But Sacred Heart ends the first half on a 6-0 run over the final 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And the reigning conference champions have a 10-point lead as we hit the halftime break. 34-24. We'll be back in about 5 minutes to recap the first half. We'll break down all the stats and figures for you. We'll get you caught up for scores around the league, and we'll get you set for the second half. Don't go anywhere. Sacred Heart leads LIU 34-24 right here on NEC Front Row.
The Sharks are your inaugural Northeast Conference Volleyball Champions.
It's a day for the Knights as FDU wins it.
Merrimack Warriors are your 2023 men's basketball champions. Lofted far down the left field line. It is gone. A 3-run homer. Chambers in lane 5 runs away with it. The Sacred Heart Pioneers are Northeast Conference women's basketball champions.
We are excited beyond belief to welcome the Lemoyne Dolphins into the NEC family.
Always with her head on a swivel. Sullivan, that is filthy.
St. Francis, they win the 2022 Northeast Conference Championship.
For everyone, from players to parents, football offers unlimited growth with even more to learn. Visit futureforfootball.com to get ahead of the game. Find out where to play, what equipment to use, and get the latest from leagues around the country, including pro tips and parental info from the experts. These resources make it easier than ever to create your plan and make your play.
And the crowd goes wild. Welcome to Fandom 101, the NCAA Division I Football Championship, this January in Frisco, Texas. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/FCS.
Welcome back here, folks, inside the Steinberg Wellness Center here in downtown Brooklyn. I'm Pat Boyle, so delighted to have you with us, and very entertaining first half. One that the reigning conference champion Sacred Heart Pioneers used a 6-0 run to end with. They lead LIU 34-24. We'll get you caught up with the scores from around the conference as we've got two other games in action right now, one about to tip off, and the LIU men and Sacred Heart men in action as well. But for now, let's get you caught up with what happened in that first half, and the reigning NEC Player of the Year, Nisira Pryor, doing what she does best and doing what she normally does, and that is score, rebound, facilitate just about everything for the Pioneers and Jessica Minetti's squad. She's got a game-high 12 points to go with 4 rebounds and 2 assists. Amelia Wood has 9 points for Sacred Heart, and then not to be forgotten in the box score is Nalise Dudley, the freshman, 4 points but 8 rebounds, and she has plenty of the dozen offensive rebounds that Sacred Heart has, which has led to 6 second-chance points. For the LIU Sharks, who else? Ashley Austin leads the way for them. 8 points to go with 5 rebounds. The junior, Emaya O'Brien's got 3 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. So good to see her stuffing the stat sheet. But then how about this? Keep an eye out for the record books because Amaya Dowdy has 8 blocks, 8 rejections in the first half. She had 5 in the first quarter, 3 more in the second. The junior, first-year Shark, transfer from UMass Lowell, is looking to pencil her name into not only LIU's record books, but the NEC record books. So keep an eye out for her blocks in the second half. LIU shooting just 30%. They're out shooting Sacred Heart. Pioneers have not had an easy day from the field, just 28% as a team, but they've been able to get to the free throw line and cash in 9 of 10 as a team, and they've only turned it over 4 times. Now let's get you caught up here with scores from around the conference. Right now on the men's side, these two programs going at it in Fairfield, and right now the LIU men trail 38-27 at the half against Sacred Heart. In terms of the other women's games we've got going on right now, one just went final in New Britain, Connecticut. The Central Connecticut Blue Devils handle St. Francis easily, 61-37. That is a big win for CCSU. In Easton, Massachusetts, the Stonehill women's basketball team trail FDU at the half, 33-28. And then we are just about 10 minutes away from tip-off in North Andover. Merrimack will take on Lemoyne. But we've got the second half coming up for you next here on NEC Front Row. Sacred Heart leads LIU 34-24. Don't go anywhere, folks. Third quarter when we get back.
The most successful brain surgeries start before you enter the operating room. With a 3D model of your brain, we rehearse your exact procedure from every possible angle, so we can deliver the highest survival rates in the country. At NYU Langone, the nation's #1 hospital for neurology and neurosurgery.
inside the Steinberg Wellness Center in downtown Brooklyn. Pat Boyle with the rest of our squad. Happy to have you with us. And what could be, what most likely is, Sacred Heart's last game here in the Steinberg Wellness Center as a member of the NEC. After the news came out back at the end of October, right before the season began, that Sacred Heart and Merrimack will be going to the MAC from the NEC. Sacred Heart trying to possibly make their mark as a member of the NEC in their last game at the Steinberg Wellness Center. They've got a 10-point advantage as we are moments away from the start of the third quarter. Nisira Pryor, the reigning NEC Player of the Year, with 12 points leading the way for the Pioneers. And for LIU, it's also their leading scorer carrying the load. Ashley Austin has 8 points. So the big talking points of that first half, again, LIU have gotten plenty of open looks from three. They just haven't been able to hit them. 2 of 14 as a team. Sacred Heart hasn't shot it much better at all. 3 of 15 from deep and just 28% from the field. But they've been able to get to the free throw line 10 times, knock down 9 of them, and they have done a great job cleaning up the glass and limiting the turnovers. So we'll see what gives here in the second half. LIU having to play from behind. The Sacred Heart in a familiar position, up double digits at the half. They beat the Sharks all 3 meetings last year by at least 10 points. And if you're Jessica Minetti and this team, taking care of the basketball and milking that clock on every possession is going to be key. Sharks, one of the top offenses in the NEC, but they're going to have a mountain to come back from. And Amaya O'Brien spun inside, thought she had an and one, and instead gets called for an offensive foul. A beautiful move from Amaya O'Brien that is negated by a charge. And that would have been a world of momentum for LIU if that went in. Or I should say if that counted. Here's Pryor. Gets to the bucket, goes down, second chance, no good. Dowdy the rebound and rips it away. Here's Austin. Past the timeline, races to the bucket, high off the glass, no good, but 2 free throws coming for Ashley Austin. And an early change here. Alexia Brooks will check in for O'Brien to give LIU a lot more height in the 5 that are on the floor. Here's Ashley Austin at the free throw line, 3 of 4 in the first half from the charity stripe. Mentioned in the first half, this is the 50th meeting all-time between these two programs. Austin goes 1 of 2. Sacred Heart, 29-20 all-time advantage. Elohim over to Bailey. Entry pass, Elohim, turnaround, mid-range jumper, it's good. Nice little half-court set that time from LIU. They got Mariah Elohim on a cut to the basket. She was able to turn around and knock that one down. And out off-ball screen, gets it for Sajeda Bonner. Handoff to Amelia Wood. Stops, pops, can't hit. Dowdy the rebound. Five rebounds to go with now 9 blocks for Amaya Dowdy. Austin, penetration, the drop-off. Dowdy put it on the floor and then traveled. And a lot of coaches will tell you, as a big, as a 4 or a 5, you get that ball dropped off to you at the low block, just go right up with it. Sometimes getting that dribble to try to get closer to the bucket allows the defense to converge on you. And that's what happened, and Dowdy took too many steps. Long 2 is good for Nellies Dudley. Having a really nice performance so far. 6 points now with 9 rebounds. She's on a double-double watch. Austin Gets inside the floater, just too strong off the glass. Couldn't get the bounce. And then how about that pass ahead from Pryor? Tucker turns around and it rolls off. Pryor, the second effort, bucket on the foul. An Isira Pryor just terrorizing down low with a second chance. It's all about heart for Isira Pryor. Gets that second opportunity amongst a sea of white jerseys. The person who's 5'3" comes away with it. When you see it happen over and over again, it's not a surprise. It's just an unmatched level of resilience and determination. 15 points now for Pryor. And now the Sharks find themselves in a 12-point hole, their largest deficit of the game, and Austin turns it over. 11th giveaway of the contest for LIU. Tucker pulls up, connects. Olivia Tucker with 7 points. Timeout LIU. Well, Sacred Heart, they wanted to try to build on that lead, and they certainly are doing that here in the third quarter. It's a 14-point advantage. We'll take a break, but not before. As a matter of fact, we will take that break. Sacred Heart by 14 here on NEC Front Row.
Champions on the field of competition, but we're also champions as student athletes.
As we wear these rings, let them serve as a reminder of the incredible teamwork and determination that brought us to this point.
This win is a testament to the many hours of practice, our determination, and our teamwork.
And we've got national champions right in front of us. Let's congratulate them again.
Well, we'll see if the Sharks can find their footing here in the third quarter coming out of this timeout. A 7-0 run for Sacred Heart has staked them to a 14-point advantage. That's the largest lead of the contest, and LIU has only taken 2 shots here in this third quarter. The turnovers have hurt them, along with the offensive rebounds from the Pioneers. They've taken 7 shots already in the third, and they've got now a 14-point lead. O'Brien, Bailey, Dennis, Elohim, and Austin on the floor for LIU. Amelia Wood, Tucker, Dudley, Johnson, and Pryor for Sacred Heart. O'Brien in and out. And then Pryor had her foot on the line as she caught that ball, so it's a turnover. Well, that three went everywhere but down for Imaya O'Brien. The three-point struggles continue for the Sharks, just 2 of 15. Elohim thought about it and then traveled. That's those moments like that where I don't think it's a lack of decisiveness. I just think it's a lack of execution there for LIU. Elohim, maybe the lack of confidence there, just 1 of 7 from deep. Maybe she would have pulled that normally. But then stutter stepped as she tried to get going. Drop off inside. Look at that passing from Sacred Heart, and it's Dudley off of a basically back-to-back one-touch passes from Pryor and Johnson. Tremendous ball movement from the conference champs. O'Brien attacks. Wanted to drop it off for Dennis, who gets trapped and just has to scoop that one into traffic, and Pryor's got it. Tucker wide open. And then Pryor caught for the foul as she had an elbow right into the gut of Ashley Austin. Janessa Williams into the game for LIU along with Sydney Smith. And Sacred Heart going to apply a little full court trap. And Williams nearly threw it into traffic. A kick ball by Amelia Wood. See, stretches like that is holding LIU back from really being contenders in the NEC. Now, right now, they haven't scored in over 3 minutes. A 9-0 run that they're trying to snap. Austin goes down. Tucker scoops it up. Here's Pryor. 2 LIU defenders around her. Misses the layup. And Ashley Austin still down on the other side of the floor, and that is the last thing you want to see right now if you're an LIU fan. Reigning all-conference player and the leading scorer for LIU is down and has to be helped up back to her feet. And we'll see if the officials want to give LIU a chance here to regroup and talk things over. That does not look great for Ashley Austin. Leading scorer on this team, 3rd leading scorer in the conference, and she is hobbling back to the locker room. And the Sharks down 16, now their best player sidelined for who knows how long. Chips are stacked against the Sharks here. But they'll have to forge on without her. Brooks launches a 3 and hits. Boy, do they need that. Alexia Brooks connects on a triple. Sharks with a press that Sacred Heart beats. Underneath the bucket, Dudley can't get it. Good defense by Smith. O'Brien looking to run. Out to Elohim for a 3. Back-to-back triples for LIU, and just like that, it's back to a 10-point game. What a response for the Sharks. Ashley Austin goes down with an injury, and LIU responds by hitting 2 straight threes. Oh, that's how you battle adversity. Pryor, the drop-off tipped and turned over. Look at this run from LIU. Maybe another triple. No, another offensive foul on Imaya O'Brien. She can't believe it. And that's going to be her 4th foul. And Jessica Minetti not happy with the way her team playing right now. She'll call a timeout, but that is the 4th foul on Imaya O'Brien, the 2nd charge that she's been called for the quarter. You see Chris Dunn not happy with the officials. Timeout on the floor. Pioneers by 10 here on NEC Front Row.
That's a move right there. One, two, three.
Back here in Brooklyn, Pat Boyle, happy to have you with us here on this Saturday afternoon, a surprisingly warm Saturday afternoon here in the Big Apple. Just under 60 degrees here in New York City, as we hope everybody else around their parts of the country staying safe as blizzards and 60-mile-an-hour winds, ice continue to affect the country. Easy bucket. That time LIU got lost on defense. They left Nelly's Dudley wide open. Big skip pass over to Elohim. Right now, LIU playing without their leading scorer, Ashley Austin, who went down with what looked like an injury to one of her legs just minutes ago. The Sharks responded nicely with back-to-back threes, but then a questionable offensive foul on Imaya O'Brien sent us to that media timeout. Brooks, 2 seconds to shoot, fires and hits! Another three! Alexia Brooks providing a spark off the bench. LIU was 2 of 15 from deep. Since then, they've hit 3 in a row. And a foul on the other end as Smith got too much of Ny'Sera Pryor, and the reigning Conference Player of the Year will head back to the charity stripe. Ny'Sera Pryor, 7 of 7 from the free throw line already today. She stays perfect. 73% from the free throw line this year. She has improved just about every aspect of her game. Last year was just 67% from the line. I say just. That is just below the national average, but she has increased her shooting percentage from the free throw line by 6%, and that's going to be that many more points when she got to the free throw line 190 times last year. That's an extra dozen points on the year. Kayla Tylas looking to get into the three-point action. That one too strong. LIU can keep this or get it back to single digits and keep it there going into the fourth quarter, and it'll give them a chance to go on a run. Johnson got double-teamed, drops it off for Dudley, and they left Pryor wide open, but she traveled. 8th turnover of the game for Sacred Heart. LIU fans making their presence known here, trying to rally their team back into the game. Janessa Williams picked up her dribble, nearly threw it away. Nice play from Kayla Tylas. Then her pass tipped, and just a wild sequence that really looked like it was never going to develop for LIU. And that's the pressure. Another full court trap, full court press there from Jessica Minetti, and forces the Sharks into their 15th turnover, but they get it right back. Brooks with the steal. Alexia Brooks running the point right now with Imaya O'Brien in foul trouble and Ashley Austin injured. The layup's no good. Pryor going the other way, ahead to Tucker, who lost it. So the fundamentals right now a little bit less than desirable for both sides. They blitz Williams, and she turns it over, and that's a freshman right there going into the teeth of this Sacred Heart trap. You see Chris Dunn coaching her up. Those are things you work on in practice almost every day, how to beat the full court press, how to beat those double teams. But you can't really ever replicate a true game-like feel. Smith gets called for a poke in. And LIU over the limit, so free throws here for Nally's Dudley, who now has her double-double. 10 points, 11 rebounds today. The freshman continues to just get better and better, averaging just 21 minutes per game, but as the season has gone on, Jessica Minetti is finding it harder and harder to put her on the bench for any spell of the game. Sacred Heart swept the NEC Weekly Awards for the second time this season this past week. It was Pryor, NEC Player of the Week again, while Dudley was the Rookie of the Week again. And another Sharks turnover. The Sacred Heart pressure back-breaking right now. And Ashley Austin is back into the game, and that is a huge welcoming sight for LIU fans. Best player for this team is back into the game after she took a hard spill early in this quarter. Sydney Smith took it away, but had her foot on the floor, or foot on the line, I should say. 2:16 left to go in the third. Pioneers are led by double digits for this entire quarter. Every time the Sharks have clawed a little bit closer, Sacred Heart has found the answer. Bonner, LIU, somebody was screaming for 3 seconds in the key. Shot clock's down to 1. They're not going to get a shot off. They call it a jump ball, but that shot clock's got less than a second left on it. And now the officials will congregate. The shot clock buzzer went off as the officials blew their whistles. Here's another look at it. Great defense from Sydney Smith. Active hands that time against Sierra Johnson. And the officials taking a look. And they're going to rule jump ball with 1 second on the shot clock. So Jessica Minetti will try to get very creative here as she will look to draw up maybe an alley-oop tip-in type play for the reigning conference champions. They lead by 13, less than 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. We're coming right back on NEC Front Row. So here we go. Let's see what Sacred Heart's got drawn up here out of the toolbox. 1 second on the shot clock. They lead by 13. Tucker got it off. Didn't hit the rim. And here's more of that trap. And they get another turnover. And Pryor saved it. Boy, the turnovers in this third quarter eating LIU alive. They had 9 at the half. They've got 9 here in the third quarter. Working down low that time. Bonner can't get it. Second chance, no good. And now it's a tussle for it on the floor. LIU comes away with it. Here's Austin. And that leg looks okay for Ashley Austin. Goes the distance. And the deuce, 11 points now for AA. LIU with a little trap of their own causing some issues. Sacred Heart breaks it. And now Pryor will slow things down with an 11-point lead, less than a minute left to go in the third quarter. Sacred Heart swept the 3-game series last year against LIU. Offensive foul on Dudley. Won all 3 games by double digits, including a 63-44 win in the NEC tournament quarterfinals last year. Dudley will come off after picking up her 3rd foul, and Kelsey Wood checks back in. There's Jessica Minetti, who has done a tremendous job leading this program. 19 wins for the first time since the 2019 season last year. They get another turnover and then a foul on Amelia Wood. Last year won their first NEC tournament title since 2012. Nycera Pryor is the MVP. Olivia Tucker also named to the all-tournament team. And then the historic NCAA tournament win over Southern in the first 4, a 57-47 win. First win in NEC women's basketball history. And really a shame that Sacred Heart and Merrimack both leaving the conference after this academic year, but as Commissioner Noreen Morris summed it up pretty aptly, it's conference realignment. You've got to expect the unexpected. So most likely the final battle in Brooklyn between these two teams as NEC members. They get Austin for an offensive foul. And it's been those plays right there that have really halted LIU's momentum. Whether you like the calls or not, they've been consistent. They've consistently been offensive fouls today. And now with the shot clock dead, expect Nyseera Pryor to slow it down yet again and hold for the final shot here. Largest lead of the game has been 16. They can tie that here with a 3. Wood navigating to the cup. Couldn't finish it through the contact. Austin didn't look like she beat it. Ooh, wouldn't have counted, I don't think, anyway, but it was awfully close. 10 minutes left to go in this one. LIU, they'll need a big comeback if they want to upset the reigning conference champions. But Ashley Austin, after leaving the game with an injury, came back in, hit that bucket. She's got 11, and if she's on the floor, anything's possible for the Sharks. Fourth quarter's next on NEC Front Row.
To officially welcome everyone to Indian Hills Country Club for the 2023 LIU Athletics Golf Outing. Have a great day ahead of us. Have a lot of activities out on the course for you all to enjoy. Also want to extend our appreciation to all of our sponsors, donors, and supporters of our student athletes, coaches, and programs. Looking forward to a great day today. Good luck out there, and go Sharks.
Stay in.
Awesome day out here at the LIU golf outing. Really good turnout for all teams across the board. Thrilled to be supporting our athletics program, and a great day in general here.
There you go, there you go.
Fourth quarter about to start here in the Steinberg Wellness Center here in downtown Brooklyn. Pat Boyle, happy to have you with us. Kevin Catalanato doing a tremendous job running our ship here inside the Steinberg Wellness Center. The defending conference champions Sacred Heart with a 51-38 lead over LIU as we start the final 10 minutes. Ashley Austin and Mariah Elohim leading the way for LIU, a combined 21 points between the two of them. And guess who? Nyseera Pryor, right at her season average, 17 points, leading the way for the Pioneers. Amaya Dowdy high off the glass for the deuce. So good start to the fourth quarter, and Amaya Dowdy having a legendary game on the defensive side. 9 blocks so far in this contest. 3 from the corners, no good, but another offensive rebound, that time for Johnson. Pryor can't get it. Johnson again, and a chance for a three-point play. Just a backbreaker for LIU. 2 more offensive rebounds, and now an and one for Sierra Johnson. As Sharks, when you're playing man-to-man defense, you've got to be able to box out your assignment, and Sierra Johnson was wide open for both of those rebounds. 18 offensive rebounds for Sacred Heart as Sydney Smith checks in for Amaya Dowdy. And LIU was maybe getting let off the hook in the first half, but now the Pioneers have been cashing in on those second chance opportunities. 13 second chance points off of the 18 offensive rebounds. Elohim on the pump fake, mid-range, in and out. Pryor's got her 7th rebound. Also, right at her season average. Nice cut from Johnson. Drops it off for Kelsey Wood. Now Pryor walks into a 10-footer and connects. 19 for the NEC Player of the Year. Tied for the largest lead. Austin, half spin, kicks it out. Tylis. Her pass denied and taken away by Amelia Wood. The Wood sisters running the floor. Here's Amelia for 3. Austin tracks down the rebound, and and she has usually no problem turning into a track meet. This time we'll slow it down. Sharks have to be methodical if they want a chance to get back in this game. Austin guarded by Tucker. Jab step, corner three, money! Ashley Austin with a triple. 14 points on the game. And they got a double team trap. And Pryor just slips right past Elohim. 3-on-1. Back to Pryor. And a smart play from the Pioneers to slow that one down. You break a press and you got numbers, the instinct is just go to the cup and put it up, even if it's not a high percentage shot. Kelsey Wood on the up and under. No chance that time. Sydney Smith was having none of that. Great defense, great footwork. A three would get it back to a 10-point game. LIU's three-point shooting much better here in the second half. 4 of 6. They were 2 of 14 in the first half. Bailey gets trapped underneath the bucket and stepped out of bounds, not before a timeout by Chris Dunn. Sharks down 13. Their point guard, Amaya O'Brien's going to come back into the game on the other side of this timeout. 7:08 to go. The conference champions lead by 13. Play would get them back above 500. They're looking for their 4th win overall in a row. It would get them to 9-8, with the rest of the conference chasing them. Central Connecticut with their win today, 2-0 start for the Blue Devils. Lemoyne has just tipped it off as Sydney Smith gets bumped. She'll go to the free throw line. Get you caught up on that game between Lemoyne and Merrimack in just a moment. And as a matter of fact, Lemoyne leading Merrimack 28-17 midway through the second quarter. So for now, the conference standings, Sacred Heart, if they can win, they'll go to 3-0. Central Connecticut at 2-0. Lemoyne right now 1-0. Wagner, FDU, and LIU all at 1-1. St. Francis U with the loss drops to 1-2, and then Merrimack and Stonehill at 0-2. Looking for their first conference wins. Things beginning to take shape, and still a month and a half left to go in the regular season. But a crucial early conference test here for LIU, and they got it within single digits in the second quarter, but since Sacred Heart has started to pull away, it's been about a 12-point lead or more since then. Shot clock down to 1. Pryor fires. Hits! Nice. Sarah Pryor uses all 30 seconds and puts a dagger into LIU with a long 2. 21 points for the reigning conference player of the year. Elohim over to Austin. A catch and shoot 3 is good. Ashley Austin answers. She's got 17. And 2 of the conference's best players trading punches back to back. And now Austin bumps Pryor right in front of the Sacred Heart sideline. That is the 3rd foul on Ashley Austin, but don't expect her to vacate the floor. Foul trouble for LIU, by the way, as you get another look at that triple. Nothing but net that time from Ashley Austin. And again, she exited this game for about 5 minutes of game time early in the third quarter with an injury. As she's come back, she has looked A-OK. But the foul trouble, Amaya O'Brien, number 1 on the floor for LIU with 4. Amaya Dowdy on the bench with 4. Inside goes Amelia Wood. Can't get the bounce. Gets her own rebound. Second effort, nothing doing. But, man, Sharks had 3 bodies there. Nobody was able to corral it. Smith mid-range. In and out. And those offensive rebounds just have not come for the Sharks. Sacred Heart, they've done a tremendous job at boxing out. The offensive rebounding battle, 19-7 in favor of Sacred Heart. Amelia Wood bulldozers her way to the bucket. That just drops off the front rim. But Sydney Smith gets called for a travel as she had the ball on the floor and then got back to her knees. You can't do that. Maya Dowdy back in the game, so 2 Sharks on the floor with 4 fouls. Meanwhile, Annalise Dudley, she's on the bench right now for Sacred Heart with a double-double, but also with 4 fouls. Pryor in and out on that one. Dowdy snatches the rebound. O'Brien. Austin. Working one-on-one with Tucker, loses it. Bailey picks it up. Dowdy faces up on Kelsey Wood. Left-handed hook shot, too strong. It's a good move. Just way too much force that time with the shot. And using all 30 of those seconds, key for Sacred Heart down the stretch. Nicira Pryor understands the assignment. Johnson. Tucker, one-on-one with O'Brien, looking for the screen. Searches inside, scoop layup is good! What a move from Olivia Tucker, the grad student from Newark, Delaware, with a tough finish. Tucker with 9 points. Leads back to 13, and a foul on Tucker. She was too handsy that time with Elohim. Alexia Brooks into the game for Ashley Austin, who is probably just getting a very quick breather here. The Sharks going to need to knock down some threes. A glimmer of hope right now remains for LIU. Elohim gets a pick and roll. More of a pick and slip. Dowdy lost the handle, but it'll stay with LIU with 6 on the shot clock. Freshman Janessa Williams comes back into the game. Elohim gets out for a 3. Can't hit. Dowdy offensive rebound. Brooks. Backing down Pryor. Gets it back. Not much doing right now for LIU. Time not on their side. O'Brien off the screen. Can't hit the 3. Another offensive board. Elohim. Nothing. 0 for 3 that time for the Sharks. They had 3 great looks. And fast break down the other end. And a foul on Amaya Dowdy, and that is her 5th. So that'll spell the end of the game for Amaya Dowdy, but she put in one of the best defensive performances in LIU history. 6 points, 7 rebounds, 1 steal, and 9 blocks for number 25. 9 rejections. Even in what looks like a loss, this is a performance that Amaya Dowdy will never forget. She has been a human eraser from the get-go. And part of the reason why Sacred Heart has had a double-digit lead for most of the second half, the free throws. That's just their second miss of the day. 1 out of 2 for Johnson. They're 18 for 20 as a team. 90% from the line today. You're going to win a whole lot of ball games if you're able to knock down 18 free throws. That is more than the difference right now in this game. Tucker again with just ferocious defense, picks the pocket, and then Pryor the other way. 23 points for Nyseera Pryor. She's one rebound of a double-double, by the way. O'Brien rolls off the front rim. Tucker the rebound. 16-point advantage for the reigning champions. And they are on their way to their 4th straight win. And they're on their way to starting 3-0 in conference play, exactly how Jessica Minetti's team envisioned starting NEC play. Long three. Inside to Smith, looking to attack. Too strong with the right, and then a foul on Williams. And she bumped Sajeda Bonner from behind. That's 4 fouls on LIU, so that was their last one to give. 2 changes for Sacred Heart. Now Elise Dudley back into the game. She's already got a double-double, 12 points, 12 rebounds. And Amelia Wood, who has chipped in with 11 points. 3 Pioneers in double figures today. Hasn't been one of their best performances, but they've gotten it done when it's mattered most. At the free throw line with the second chance opportunities. They've only hit 3 threes today, 3 out of 20. But they've made it count at the stripe. O'Brien with the steal, 2-on-1. Williams couldn't keep it. And we've got a whistle, and the officials will figure out what to do with that one. Looked like Williams either traveled or stepped on the line. I can't imagine this is going to stay with LIU. Yeah, they'll call it a travel. So that's turnover number 24 for LIU, and that's really what's hurt them here in that second half. Sacred Heart has taken 70 shots to LIU's 51. So 19 more shots allowed because the turnover discrepancy is 24-13 in favor of the Pioneers. LIU did a really nice job of limiting those turnovers in the first half. They only had 9, but 15 of them here in the second half. Press nearly worked that time. Sierra Johnson working on Williams. Shot clock down to 6. Off the screen. Johnson, step back. Couldn't get the roll. And then O'Brien and Williams run into each other. And that just about sums up the day for LIU. We got to admire how the Sharks have battled. They have fought tough, but 25 turnovers and giving up 20 offensive rebounds is not a recipe for success. Still a lot of growth left to do for this team, but you see the battle there. You see the potential. And in a very crowded middle of the pack in the NEC, 4 seed will get you home court advantage for the quarterfinals. I think that is a very attainable goal right now for the LIU Sharks. Meanwhile, for Sacred Heart, nothing but that number 1 seed, I think, will appease Jessica Minetti and their fans, as the first free throw is good from Faith Pappas, sophomore from Long Valley, New Jersey, who recently checked into the game for the first time. And Pappas hits both. LIU, by the way, hasn't scored in 5 minutes. It's a scoring drought, one what they could not afford down the stretch. Final minute 10. Elohim 3 is good. Mariah Elohim hits her 3rd triple of the game. 13 points for the sophomore. And even though the percentage hasn't been great today, 3 of 11 That's now back-to-back games for Mariah Elohim with 3 threes. So they certainly need their best three-point shooter to continue to get her confidence up. But the problem for LIU, those three-pointers have come not at an ideal time. That first half, 2 of 14. Second half, 6 of 11. I mean, they shoot like that in the first half. They probably go into the halftime break with a lead. Jessica Minetti continuing to clear out her bench here in the final minute. This is Ty Davis. And a foul on Elohim will send Ty Davis to the free throw line. Freshman from Stoughton, Massachusetts. Also into the game right now, Emma Kirby and Afia Owusu-Mensah. So Sacred Heart is going to win their 4th in a row. They're going to get back above 500. They'll be 9-8, and they will have Lemoyne, the Dolphins, awaiting the first NEC test between those two teams on Monday afternoon on MLK Day, 2 p.m. tip from the Pitt Center in Fairfield. LIU, meanwhile, in the loss, they will drop to 2-12 overall, 1-2 in conference play. And for the Sharks, they are on the road Monday afternoon, a flight to Chicago. Out of conference battle on MLK Day for the Sharks. It'll be LIU at Chicago State Monday at 2 o'clock Eastern. We'll be back Friday night. Elohim's 3 is good. That's her 4th. So some positives to take away from here in the loss. Mariah Elohim now has 7 triples in her last 2 games. She's got 16 points today, and the Sharks get a turnover. O'Brien can't hit. A couple of Sharks go colliding into each other. Elohim again, nothing doing that time. O'Brien chases it down. LIU fighting until the very last second here. Bailey steps through. That one might have gotten rejected. Final seconds, O'Brien's 3 at the buzzer is good. So the Sharks hit 10 threes in this game, 8 of which come in the second half, but it's too little too late. As you get one last look at that final sequence. But you want to talk about embodying and never say die attitude and fighting all the way to the end. There's Imaya O'Brien's 3 at the buzzer as she finishes with 6 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. But the second quarter and most of the third, turnovers and giving up too many second chance opportunities does LIU in. They lose to the conference champions. Sacred Heart wins here 67-56 the final. Nysera Pryor, the reigning conference player of the year, 23 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists. Meanwhile, Nelly's Dudley, the freshman, another double-double, 12 points, 12 rebounds. Sacred Heart improves to 9-8 with the win. They are unbeaten in conference play at 3-0. In the loss for LIU, Ashley Austin had 17. Mariah Elohim had 16. LIU falls to 2-12 overall and 1-2 in conference play. Like we mentioned, the Sharks will be in Chicago to take on Chicago State Monday afternoon at 2 o'clock Eastern. We'll be back here on NEC Front Row Friday night, 6 days from now, when the Sharks take on St. Francis U right here in the Steinberg Wellness Center. And until then, for our entire crew, Kevin Catalanato and everybody else working hard here on NEC Front Row, I'm Pat Boyle. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you Friday night the next time for the women when the Sharks take on St. Francis U. Until then, have a good rest of your weekend, folks. You've been watching live on NEC Front